Welcome, welcome. I'll adjust my camera a little bit here. Hold on a second. That's not what I wanted. There we go. It's not bad here. Not sure what I can do about it, really. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Hang on. Bear with me for a second. We'll get to while we're here tonight. I'd say that works. Welcome in again, everybody. It's Wednesday night for me on the best coast of the United States of America. It is early morning Eastern Coast time, and we are here for one of my favorite kind of streams to do. We're here to launch a rocket. Hot bird, like Nashville chicken hot. Tori, you look weird today. Thank you, Sebi. Judge, no Nashville chicken hot. I think I might have tried that once, and I don't know if I was too partial to the flavor of it. Holly says, she said, I don't want to say, oh my God anymore. It's tiring. And seriously, kid. Wow. Tori probably looks weird because he's passed out, Sebi. But thanks for coming in, owner of the founder badge there. That's pretty awesome. Anyways, we are covering a SpaceX launch tonight. You look odd. You have a glowing aura. Okay. Ooh, what beer? And I'll get to that in just a second. I'm gonna try to change my glow. Okay, now at least I can see it. That's not it. That's somewhat tighter. Lose a little bit on my left side. I still got to figure out the lighting with this camera here. That better? That looks better. Okay. Better. Weird looking Coke. It's not Coca-Cola tonight. We're shamelessly not doing it because the beverage was too big to fit, or the can was too big to fit into one of my koozies. So tonight this is Elysian's very appropriately named Space Dust IPA. Anyway, we are launching a satellite to geostationary transfer orbit tonight. Stubby holder, you non-Australian. I don't know what a stubby holder is. That sounds like either something sexual or cigar related. SpaceX Live, thank you very much, Sebi. We shall transfer over to SpaceX. We'll be watching a rocket launch tonight. Hold your own, stubby Aussie. Koozies is a stupid word. Well, fuck you, Judge. It's not my fault you're Australian. So, let's switch it on over to SpaceX here.
It's 1:22 a.m. Eastern Time.
And here we are.
From Space Launch
we have Jesse Anderson
as
our commentator tonight.
Station. My name is Jesse Anderson. I'm a production engineering manager
and
here
she
at
is
SpaceX,
totally off the
and
screen.
I'll be your host for our launch coverage
Jesse,
of the Eutelsat
you're
hawt
gone.
13G mission. Eutelsat is a world-leading satellite operator covering Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and the Americas. Eutelsat's high-performance satellites serve broadcasters,
well, now she disappeared right when I fixed her.
Aviation and maritime companies, and government agencies from across
it 100%
the globe.
Is, and it sucks.
If you've been following along, a little over 2 weeks ago, we launched Eutelsat Hotbird 13F.
I was going to show
one of two new large satellites going to space
a brief
to replace three existing satellites
showing of a Falcon Heavy launch, not the one from yesterday because it was so foggy, but I do have one recorded. Maybe I'll show it when we get a break here. But
Eutelsat Hotbird 13G.
Right now we're
a bit more about Eutelsat, their partners, and the payload on board tonight.
So I'm gonna have to kill the volume here, probably. Yes, they're gonna play some music, so down you go. what they're basically telling you here is the Hotbird 13G is the second of two satellites. The Eutelsat company is launching. They launched one just last month. It was the last rocket launch I covered. So it's going to be basically second verse, same as the first kind of a thing. These are communication satellites. They're going to be... My stream video is cut off heavily. Oh, yeah. Okay, I can change it, but if I change it too much, then you lose the timeline. So, you gotta bear with me, Sebi. This is still kind of my very rudimentary rocket launch covering skills. I've tried that before. It hasn't really worked out so well for me. Let me see if I can. Wait. That's better, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. Nice. All right, then. So, like I said, this is a work-on-the-fly kind of a production. This is my third launch that I've streamed. So, I'm still getting the hang of it. I'm definitely not in Tori's ballpark, and I only have one monitor, so when I switch between things I want to show you, you'll have to bear with me as I go to my desktop. Still cut off, but better. Okay. Well, that's as slow as that one goes, so... How's that? Anyway, Judge, back to so hot right now. We're doing a rocket launch, and I'm sitting right over Jesse's. I'm not covering up too bad, though. Oh. Now we gotta do some more. So, what they're basically saying is the Hotbirds are some TV satellites. They're going to be in geostationary orbit, or geosynchronous orbit, however you want to say it. And these satellites are designed to bring 4K TV to, is it North Africa, Central Europe, and a little bit of the Middle East, I believe. Maybe it's Eastern Europe. One of those Europes. So we launched Hotbird 13F. That was about a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago. And like I said, that was the last rocket launch I streamed. And today they're launching up its partner. They're replacing 3 satellites. So now they're going to do the job of 3 satellites with 2. And these satellites are intended to have a not half-life. I'm dealing with radiation too much, obviously. They're to have an operational life of about 15 years, and I'll turn the audio back up. Let me know if the audio is too loud or too
satellite from
not
Space Launch
loud.
Complex 40. Starting from the bottom of the rocket, we have our 9 M1D engines connected to the first stage.
So this is a Falcon 9 Block 5.
These 9 engines help accelerate the vehicle through the thickest parts of the Earth's atmosphere and into space. Our first stage, also
as you can
referred
see,
to
we've
as
got
the booster, is
a little
flying
over
for
6
the
minutes
7th
until
time
launch.
tonight, having previously launched CRS-22, Crew 3,
This one has
5B,
flown 2 crew missions. This has flown Crew 3
4,
and Crew 4, this booster.
CRS-25, and 1 Starlink mission.
And I think it's been to
Above
the
the first
ISS
stage is the second stage, which
at
has a
least
single
4 or
Merlin
5
vacuum, or what we
times.
call an MVAC engine, which ignites after the first stage
So
separates.
this guy gets busy.
The second stage is what will carry the Eutelsat
But I think
Hotbird
it's the
13G
6th
satellite
flight.
to orbit.
I think she might have said that. I
At the
don't know
very
if I
top
caught that
of
or
the
not.
rocket, you'll notice the large structure with the pointed nose on top of the second stage. That is our payload fairing, and that's what you're seeing there on your screen. The fairing is made up of 2 carbon composite halves and protects the payload on their way
Sebi,
to orbit.
anytime you want to jump in here.
Or separated
I have done 2
3
launches
minutes into
without
flight.
anybody
The Eutelsat Hotbird 13G
as a color
satellite
commentator,
is currently
so
safely enclosed
please
inside the
input wherever
17-foot
you
diameter
feel
payload
necessary.
fairing, which, with each
Or
half
even if you don't
flying
feel it's
today
necessary, I don't
being
give a
flight
fuck.
proven, one half is flying for the 4th time, and the other is flying for a 6th time. Hotbird 13G
So not
is
new
also
fairings,
hosting the
even though that's what it
EGNOS
said online, that they were
Geo4
new
payload.
fairings, so
EGNOS is the
we were
European
misled there.
geostationary navigation overlay service that acts as an augmentation
This
service to global
is
positioning systems to improve reliability of
SLC
positioning
40,
information.
Space Launch
Now,
Complex
with
40,
liftoff just
at the
about
Cape
5 minutes
Canaveral
from now, we're currently waiting
Space
for
Force
the
Station.
retraction of the
The sky is
transporter
black
erector.
today. It is.
Pressing tanks for retract.
So real quick, while they're still
retraction,
finishing
the
off
TE clamps will
fueling,
open up first, and once they're
let's
fully open,
show
then the
you
TE can begin
where
to
we're launching
pull
from
away
today.
just slightly from the vehicle. At T0, ground hydraulic systems will pull the TE even further away from Falcon 9 as it lifts off.
I think I have to
Now we
kill
are
full
just
screen for
about
this. All
10
right,
to
so
15 seconds away from
let's
those
do that.
clamp arms
Anyways,
beginning to open.
Retract is starting.
that's the United States of America.
And there's that call out that it's actually
We
beginning
are
now.
launching
So the clamp arms are
from
just below
Cape
the
Canaveral
payload fairing
Space Force
right
Station,
above
now
the
it's
second
called, not
stage.
just Cape Canaveral Air Force Station.
And there's
Since the
a
Space
little
Force has
better
taken it
view. You can
over,
see
they
those
are now
clamp arms
owned by the
opening up.
Guardians.
Again, once that is fully
And
open, the
we are
TE
launching
can
right
begin
here
to move away
at
from the vehicle.
Space Launch Complex 40, or otherwise known as Slick 40. If you zoom in close
The
enough
first stage
here,
is
you can
connected to a
actually
launch mount at
see
the base of the TE,
the
but
lightning
the structure is
towers,
hinged and will track
or lightning
away
rod towers
from the
here,
vehicle in preparation for launch.
here, and
you
there.
may have heard that
And
call
if we
out
switch back to
called the strong back. That is referring to the TE.
this view, you can see those there all around it. So this
And
is
it
a
looks like the
Eutelsat,
TE
like I
should
said,
be
a
fully
supplier for
retracted at this point. So
Europe,
just
North
put in the
Africa,
countdown, both the first and
Middle
second
East
stages
area.
are nearly fully loaded with 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid
and this
oxygen.
is going to geostationary
Both first
transfer
stage and
orbit.
second stage should finish propellant
If you
loading about
watched,
a minute apart from
well,
each
it's the
other.
same calendar day for me.
Complete.
No,
And great
not
timing.
quite.
Stage 1 liquid oxygen loading is now
Oh,
complete.
now I can't remember.
Stage 2
Falcon
should
Heavy
wrap up
launched.
around the T-minus
Was it
2
yesterday
minute mark.
morning? Sure,
And
yesterday
you can
morning.
see some white clouds there on
They
your
took a
screen around the
satellite
vehicle.
directly to
That is
geosynchronous
the
orbit.
chilled gas above the
And that's
liquid
why they use
oxygen
Falcon Heavy to
tank
get that much
liquid
propulsion.
surface that we vent overboard to
This
maintain pressure
satellite
inside of the tank
will
as needed.
get to
And when that gas
geostationary
comes
transfer orbit,
into contact
which
with the humid,
is,
moist air, it
if we
condenses
wanna
into clouds or water, just similar to
take a quick look at
cold glass of
that.
water with
Oh,
condensation
Jesse's
forming
talking
around
here. This
At
is
T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will be in startup.
geostationary
That means
transfer
that the
orbit.
rocket's autonomous internal flight
So
computers
the
have
yellow
taken
line would
over
be it launching
the
off the
launch
Earth,
countdown.
obviously, and the
Just
blue
inside
line
T-minus
is
2 seconds, we
a,
light the Merlin M1D engines for liftoff.
Sebby's playing with his fidget cube, and that sounds
13G
dirty,
satellite
but I actually
continues
know
to
what it
be
means,
healthy,
and it's not. So
and the Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues
the
on the vehicle.
blue line is
Weather is still looking
geostationary
good
transfer
for
orbit,
T0, and the range is green
and
for launch.
the red line would be geosynchronous orbit. So for the moment, the satellite will be put in an orbit that's, you know, kind of low on the, you're going to call it the bottom side of this image that
Just
we're looking
waiting
at.
for the
That's
call
the
out.
perigee.
Load complete.
And then the
There it
apogee would be the
is.
top part.
Stage 2 liquid oxygen
Everything
loading
sounds dirty to
is
me, it's true.
now complete. That means
But,
Falcon 9's propellant loading
let's see.
is completed. 1 million pounds of
What we're
kerosene
looking
fuel
at
and liquid
there
oxygen. And now that propellant loading is
Is
complete,
when it does
we will
make
begin to
geostationary
vent out the
orbit,
liquid.
that is about 22,000 miles.
we will begin to vent the liquid
away,
oxygen
and
line
if I
on the
think I can
transport erector.
Move that down.
And
Okay,
there you can see
so there's the kilometers
more
for
of
your
those white
European
clouds.
fellows
That's
out
exactly
there,
what it is.
and
We're venting
fellows
out
and
that
gals.
liquid oxygen from that strong
35,786
back there.
kilometers, which roughly equivalents to 22,000
And coming
miles,
up here, just
is
about
where
10
it will end
seconds,
up.
Falcon 9
And
should
to give you
go into
perspective, the
startup.
moon is 238,000 miles, so a little under 10% of the way to the moon. And it will fixate
Falcon
in one
startup.
certain place.
Flight computers have now taken over the launch countdown.
And
now just
we
waiting the
really
final
need to
call
get
from
back
the launch
to
director.
the launch. We're waiting for go from launch director.
Go for launch.
Go for launch. Yes.
Great news. All systems are go for launch.
So this was intended to launch about
Hotbird 13G payload.
About 8:25 my time, so it's a little over 2 hours later. Let's get a go, no go in chat. I'll rip a line from Tori. Oops. Let's move that up just a bit to see the timer. There we go.
15 seconds.
Where's Anita? I don't
10,
know. She's probably
9,
asleep.
8, 7, 6.
I don't think
5,
she's seen any of these
4,
that I've done.
2,
And here we go.
1. Ignition and liftoff of
It got so bright you can't see it.
Go
Here we go.
9.
Not quite the applause that we had for Falcon Heavy the other day. So all we see is flames and no rocket. We're approaching max Q, which is the
Falcon
most
9
aerodynamic pressure that the rocket's going to face on its
Cape
ascent.
Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying Eutelsat Hotbird 13G satellite. Now, during ascent, the M1D engines will actually swivel and help steer Falcon 9, and this is known as gimbal.
Gimbaling.
The rocket autonomously tilts the engines.
Supersonic.
The rocket autonomously tilts the engines just a few degrees, and this gimbaling
throttle
allows
down
the
for
vehicle to
max
perform
Q.
a gravity turn, which is when we are going vertical but also going horizontal, and you can kind of see that on your screen there.
Am I blocking off?
Q.
Yeah, I'm blocking off a little
Great
info
call
there,
out.
but at
We've
least
just
I'm
passed through
talking about
max
it.
Q. That is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees on ascent.
I know. Imagine if I was on YouTube and people ask all
After we
kinds of
pass through
stupid
max
questions
Q,
right
we
now.
can now begin
I'm thinking
to
the next time I do
throttle
this, I might
up
try to
the
do
9 M1D engines
a YouTube
on stage 1.
broadcast.
And in just about a minute, we'll have 3 events happening.
So the
back. First will be
flamey
MECO,
portion there is
stage
spreading out
separation,
as
and
the
then
atmosphere gets
SES1,
thinner.
which is second stage engine start 1. Got some really cool views.
MVAC is chilling in.
Really cool
They
views
are
of those
chilling the
9
MVAC
M1D
engine,
engines
preparing
on the
to
first
fire
stage.
it. Did she just
Now,
yawn?
MECO is
I coulda
the main
swore to
engine
God she
cutoff,
just
and that's
yawned.
where all 9 of those engines will shut down, and that prepares the vehicle for stage separation.
Anyways, we're coming up
Then
to
stage 1
main
can
engine
make
cutoff
its
or
way back
MECO.
down to Earth, while stage 2
And that's where
continues with
separation will occur,
SES1 or second
and
stage
the
engine
second
start
stage
1.
will
That's
start.
where we will ignite that MVAC engine on the second stage for the first time for this mission.
Sebi, if you want, you can ask me
Again,
stupid
coming up
questions.
here in just a few seconds, we will
I
have
already got
MECO,
what
stage
beverage I'm
separation,
drinking
and
tonight.
SES1.
And I think that's where we lost Judge. He must not have approved. Anyways, on your left will be the separation of
MECO.
the first and second stage.
Stage separation confirmed.
The stiffener ring will fall off the engine bell there on the right side as it ignites.
MVAC ignition.
And
there
stiffener
we
ring
can
is off,
see
and
MECO
we'll get
stage
some orange
separation
glow
our
on the
right-hand
MVAC
screen.
engine.
That MVAC engine is lighting up there. Coming up next, we will have fairing
Mouse
separation.
is running around and it's totally all fake. It's all CGI.
The fairing halves flying today are flight proven.
Okay, I'm
one
back.
half
What did I
flying
miss?
For the 4th
Holly, you
time
missed the
and
launch.
The other for a 6th time.
And we're about 3 minutes into flight.
And on your left-hand screen is a view of the first stage. The grid fins have now deployed.
I think I might need to move it a little this way to give you a better view of the... Maybe I need to just compress the whole damn thing so we can see a little more of it.
Fairing separation confirmed.
So fairings are off, and now you
And
can
there
see the
on
satellite
right-hand
there.
Screen, the fairing halves being jettisoned. Now we will be
Yes, we have a spunky
attempting
6-year-old
to retrieve
driving
these fairing halves again
you crazy.
today once they fall back down to Earth using our recovery ship, Bob.
So the MVAC engine is a little different, and they can get away with having one because they've already done all the hard work getting up through the Earth's atmosphere. And once you're in the vacuum of space, the thrust doesn't work quite the same for the engine, so it needs to be a lot larger.
T plus
Have you ever
4
seen
minutes
a
into
image of the
today's
difference
mission.
between the
That call out there was
MD
just
engines
acquisition
or
of
the
signal
Merlin
of one
9
of our ground
engines, the
stations.
9 that
Now
are on the
we're
first stage.
in the first
And
of
the difference
two
between the
planned
MVAC
MVAC burns prior to
engine,
satellite
that's
deployment,
quite a lot.
and that's what you're seeing there on your screen is the MVAC on the second stage. The next
It's
event
hard to
will
speedy
be
Space Mouse.
first
Space
stage
Mice.
entry burn, and that'll occur around T plus 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And you should also be able to see that on your screen. Now for that entry burn, we relight 3 M1D engines, starting with the center one, which is the E9 engine, followed shortly thereafter
is her volume
by
too high?
E1 and E5 engines. This burn is the first of 2 planned burns for the first stage and slows the vehicle down as it passes back into
Is her
the
volume
Earth's
too high,
atmosphere.
Holly?
Now stage 1 does need to slow down to reduce the re-entry forces, and that helps us to recover and reuse the vehicles.
Vehicle on nominal trajectory.
And great callouts.
No, not bad. How is it now?
On nominal trajectories.
So we have a nominal trajectory for
That entry burn is just under a minute and a half away.
orbit
And as a
insertion.
reminder, with a unique pan-European coverage, the high-power hot bird satellites at 13 degrees east form one of the largest broadcasting systems in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa.
Oh, when they're both talking, yeah. I'm trying not to talk over her a lot, but
TV homes.
bling. Oh boy. Time Waster. Subby. See, where are we at? We're at $102, Subby. I think a lot of that's due to you, honestly.
Entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines.
We have no views of the first stage coming down here. This is a little bit disturbing.
Gases, which is also called the rocket's plume.
Oh,
And this thin layer of soot from Falcon 9's carbon-based fuel, kerosene, is deposited onto the exterior of the vehicle.
$102, yeah. Pretty amazing.
Again, entry burn
So,
for the
first stage is going to be landing on just read the
20 seconds from now.
instructions autonomous drone ship. And I'm seeing a little bit over there on the left side now.
Stage 1 MTS is saved.
So they can no longer blow up the first stage if they wanted to.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And as you can see, your left-hand screen light up there. Those 3 engines have ignited.
So the entry burn is just slowing the booster down so it doesn't burn up on its way back in. And then they will fire it one more time right before landing, commonly known as a suicide burn. It's just enough to slow it down to 0 velocity right as it touches down.
Now, for those that might not be familiar with why we land our rockets, reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical science research. And the Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission performed this entry burn for the 7th time tonight, previously launching CRS-22, Crew 3, Turksat 5B, Crew 4, CRS-25, and 1 Starlink mission.
I think it's pretty awesome that this booster has gone to the put missions to the space station 4 times, and 2 of them had kids on it.
Which is second stage engine.
Yeah, that the suicide burn works as good as it does is a miracle. It's true. I have to agree with you.
And we allow that second stage to coast.
And the way they're planning on catching Starship is even crazier than that.
Shortly after Seco 1 will have the landing
Or
burn
not
starting
Starship,
on the
but the heavy booster. Super heavy, whatever they're calling. Used to be called the big fucking rocket, and now it's super heavy with Starship. At least Starship can hover. Well, Starship can. I don't know about the booster. Okay, so landing burns ain't going on here. See if we can see anything here. Okay, there's the drone ship down there, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Heading right at it. Landing legs out.
Nominal orbit.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And successful booster landing.
Falcon 9 has touched down on just read the instructions. This landing marks SpaceX's 152nd recovery of an orbital class rocket.
It has been a long time since we had a missed landing.
And we also heard
there was a nominal orbital insertion too. Yes, I don't know if the booster can as well. I guess it depends on how much it uses going up.
First coast phase. After the coast phase, we will light that MVAC engine for a second time around.
Of course, it's got 30 engines.
Minutes. So we'll see you back here in
compared
about 20
to 9
minutes.
here.
In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy some space tunes.
Space jams are coming up, which means I gotta shut down the volume. And we'll get to see some views of the... looks like the moon in the background there, over the top of the engine bell. It's always nice to see. So it looks like we're coasting for, I'm gonna guess maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 or so. Correct. It has so many engines and you probably turn some off and on to manage, yeah. You think about the amount of control that would take. It's amazing. Heidi ho. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Welcome into the moderator version of the half moderator version of SpaceX stream. The Christmas poo. Man. You guys are referencing your South Park. And I'm surprised I even know that because I never really watched that show. So I'm wondering if we'll actually... we probably still won't make the Terminator to go into light by the time they deploy. It's not that long out, or far out, I guess. So you can see from their little map there, Stage 2 is right over the middle of the Atlantic right now, heading for the eastern coast of Africa. So basically, almost a straight east launch, just like a Hotbird 13F. What else did I have to show you, just so I can run through all the shit I prepared for this? Let's see. Let's kill that. Yeah, let's do this. Let's look at the the ground speed winds were about 7 or 8 when we launched, so there's that for you. And I might have think that's all I had for you. I already showed you the geostationary transfer map. That's what we're going to. I cannot find for the life of me how long it will take for these guys to actually make geosynchronous orbit. I looked it up, show me liftoff and landing. Yeah. Can I do that? I suppose I can. Let's rewind it. Let's go back to the future. Okay, while we're coasting, let's go back to launch. Oh, we're at 10 seconds here, Red. Here you go. Oop, sorry. Hold on a second. I can redo that. Yes, where's the volume? Damn it, I'm working on it. Jeez. You guys are fucking so demanding. It pisses me off. Okay, here we go.
15 seconds.
Ask and she shall receive.
T-minus 10, 9,
Oh, you didn't ask, Holly. Sorry.
4,
Harder?
3, 2, 1. Ignition.
That's as hard as it gets.
Off of
That's what she said.
Eutelsat Hotbird 13G. Go Falcon 9.
Nominal first stage chamber pressures.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
So hard. So we shall rewatch the launch here for Brandon.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off
What,
from Pad 40
Holly?
at Cape Canaveral Space
Power
Force
telemetry
Station,
nominal.
carrying Eutelsat Hotbird 13G satellite.
Mix it in and show
Now, during ascent,
BFG from the other
M1D
day.
engines will actually swivel and help steer Falcon 9, and this is known as gimbal.
Just for
The rocket
Brandon?
autonomously
No,
tilts the
of
engines.
course not.
Sonic.
I do everything for you.
The rocket autonomously tilts
Brandon
the
means
engines
nothing to
just
me.
a few degrees, and this gimbaling
He's just
allows
a
the
piece of
vehicle to
ass on the
perform a
side.
gravity turn, which is when we are
Right, Brandon?
going vertical but also going horizontal.
I love him for his
See that on your
meatloaf.
screen there.
Max Q.
Great call out. We've just passed through Max Q. That is the largest
I love his
structural
smoked
load that the
meatloaf.
vehicle sees on ascent.
Wow. Did you
After
see
we
the
pass
smoke
through
ring?
Max
I
Q, we
don't
can
know
now
if I looked
begin
that
to
close.
throttle
I don't know if I saw it
the
after you
9 M1D
took it off the
engines
grill.
on stage 1. And in just about a minute, we'll
You can have
three
all the
events
loaf you want,
happening
just keep it away from
back
home.
to back.
Yeah,
The
all
first
right.
will be MECO stage separation, and then SES1, which is second stage engine start 1. Got some really cool views.
And back is chilling in.
What if I want more meat than
Really
loaf?
cool views of those 9 M1D
Wow.
engines on the first stage.
My first 2 rocket launches
Now,
were
MECO
basically
is main engine
PG-13.
cutoff, and that's where all 9 of those engines will shut down.
But I've got you guys
There's
in the room
vehicle
tonight, and it's
for stage
gone a little
separation.
off the rails.
Then stage 1 can make its way back down to Earth, while stage 2 continues with
Yes, I didn't see
SES1, or
anything
second
past
stage engine start
the
1. That's
whole picture
where
of the
we will
meatloaf.
Ignite that MVAC engine on the second stage for the first
It's called
time
meatloaf.
for this
You cannot
mission.
separate. Okay,
Again,
meat,
coming up here in
loaf.
just a few seconds, we will have MECO stage separation and SES1.
Anyways, if you're at all curious as what we're talking about, you can look up Overlook Horizon on Discord, and you can see what we're talking about there.
And back ignition.
Check
And
out the
there
pics
we
and
could see
food.
MECO stage separation on your right-hand screen. That MVAC engine is lighting up there. Coming up next, we will have fairing separation. The fairing halves flying today are flight proven, one half flying for the 4th time and the other for a 6th time. And on your left-hand screen is a view of the first stage. The grid fins have now deployed.
Yeah, I can see the smoke ring. It's not as pronounced as something like a steak or like a pork butt would be, but definitely there.
Bearing separation confirmed.
And just to be honest,
there you
Holly
can
and
see
I
on your right-hand
don't like meatloaf
screen
at all.
The fairing halves
Sorry.
being jettisoned. Now we
And it's
will be
funny, when we,
attempting to retrieve these fairing
I
halves again
hope it was
today once they
delicious,
fall
but
back down to
yeah,
Earth
it's not
using
my
our
thing.
recovery ship,
Not our
Bob.
thing. What's funny is when our first daughter was born, first kid was born, it's kind of tradition if people that are friends or family bring you over
Position signal, Bermuda.
dishes that are just all you got to do is heat it up and you can eat and not have to worry about preparing anything because you're stuck with a newborn.
Of signal of one of our ground
So
stations.
my sister was the
Now
only
we're
one that brought us
in
anything.
the first of 2
and
planned
she brought
MVAC
us a
burns
meatloaf,
prior to satellite
which
deployment,
we
and that's what you're seeing
didn't
there on
eat
your
at
screen
all,
is the MVAC on the
and a
second stage.
lasagna that
The
was
next event
crunchy.
will be
So
first stage entry
yeah, we
burn,
didn't
and that'll
really
occur
get
around T
we didn't make out so great
6
in
minutes
that
and 30
deal.
Seconds, and you should also be able to see that on your screen.
Let's
Now, for that
fast
entry
forward this
burn,
up
we
to
relight 3 M1D
landing
engines,
of the
starting with
booster.
the center one, which is the E9 engine.
If I
followed
tried
shortly
yours, I'd fall
thereafter
in love.
by
That's what
E1
she
and
said.
E5 engines. This burn is the first of 2 planned burns for the first stage and slows the vehicle down as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. Now, stage 1 does need to slow down to reduce the re-entry forces, and that helps us to recover and reuse the vehicles.
Okay, skipping ahead here.
Stage 1 landing burn.
This is the landing burn.
There we've had SECO, and stage 1 landing burn has begun. Let's watch as Falcon 9 touches down on just read the instructions.
Landing leg deploy.
Nominal orbit
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And great news there, and a couple of great call-outs.
You know what I realize is that they always say nominal orbit insertion
Just read the instructions.
right as they're landing. Somebody should tell them, it's just like, can you wait just a few seconds and not say that?
Second recovery of an orbital class rocket, including first stage landings.
Like, dude, shut up. Kill his mic. Let the thing land, and then you can tell us it was a nominal orbit insertion.
and confirmation of good orbit. So
Alright,
now the mission
let's
isn't
go
over just
back
yet. The second stage is
to-
now embarking on its first coast phase. After the coast phase, we will light that MVAC engine for a second time around T plus 29 minutes.
I need
So
to
we'll see
kill
you
the
back here in
volume
about 20 minutes.
first,
In the meantime,
so
sit back, relax, and enjoy
I
some
don't
space
get
tunes.
dinged. For that whole copyright thing. Alright, so stage 2 is over the east coast of Africa now, almost. Yeah, we were talking about the effectiveness of suicide burns and how it's playing with fire. If you remember, what was it? Was it Crew 1 or Crew 2 when Tori was streaming? I think it was Crew 2 because they were having an issue with their prop heaters or something like that. And so he stayed on for like 8 some hours. And by the end, he was playing Kerbal and he forgot to put a chute on the capsule. So he was trying to suicide burn it down when he was trying to land it. And he did it like about 4 or 5 times, and then he had to cheat to make it work. Well, actually, he did land it safe once, but they were going so fast it was probably would have caused some significant injuries to the crew. And to be honest, when Kerbal Space Program 2 comes out, I plan to stream all of that business and watch the total carnage that will yeah, total carnage that will become of that. They're gonna light the engine here. Looks like for just the second stage, they're gonna light the engine for just a couple of seconds. I can't tell exactly how much, but they'll relight that to, I wouldn't say circularize the orbit because they're not. They're going to be in total elliptical orbit. And the cool thing about this satellite is that it has electric propulsion on it. We talked about it the last time I streamed. They flow some xenon gas into an electrical current, and the ions it produces actually creates the thrust to push the satellite further out and to where it's supposed to go. 2 advantages to that. One is one advantage to that is it's super lightweight. Don't have to carry a lot of weight up there with you to then propel yourself out to geosynchronous orbit. Ion engine, TIE fighter shit, yeah. But the amount that the ions actually put out is really low. So if you want to think about it in terms of velocity, you'd think about the Falcon 9 being, the Fast and the Furious quarter mile faster than shit, right? And then the propulsion that it can get from the ion engines is very, very low. So it would be like putting your car into first gear and just slowly accelerating it up forever. But when it does finally get going, it can create a very significant velocity. Yeah, they do. They work really well. They're great. And I'm surprised that a lot of other satellites don't use them. They're not. It's the first time they've launched these satellites that they've used that form. And opposite of what they did with the USSF mission the other day, they put that directly into geosynchronous orbit, so required a lot of juice to get it out there. And that's also the reason why that. No, I know that it's been around for a while, but I think they're becoming more commonplace. But when USSF launched on Falcon Heavy the other day, that's the reason they had to expend the core stage and couldn't get it back, because they needed every ounce of oomph that they could get to get it directly to geostationary orbit, which is probably a request of the Air Force and why Falcon Heavy was developed to start with. $20 that last launch was top secret, was the X-37. The last Falcon Heavy launch the other day. Anyway, I'll be right back. So, Brandon and Sebi are discussing the possibility of knowing what they were actually going to launch yesterday. I'm sure technology exists that can be like, okay, I can see that fucking thing out there and I can tell you what it is, but so far we don't have any privy to that information. Oh, as per request, we have switched to. This is not actually Coca-Cola, it's the Coco Callo. Cheers. You're about to light this thing up. Can you kill the space jams, please? Sebi says GSO is too far out to be seen with telescopes. Maybe, yeah, I guess detailed wise. Yeah, we're back on live. SES2 should be within about the next minute or so. Yeah.
Satellite for our customer Eutelsat.
We go.
We've had a nominal mission so far. Falcon 9 launched on time at 1:22 a.m. Eastern Time from Space Launch Complex 40. We successfully recovered the first stage on our drone ship. Just read the instructions for the 7th time.
So they're going to light it up over the coast of
vacuum engine.
east coast of Africa. And I am terrible with African geography, so I could not tell you where that is. But we are in the light now, which is nice. And here we go. Oh, big old space mice.
Needed to deploy, and we just heard that call
space
out.
mice flying off,
That
too.
is SES-2, or second stage engine start 2.
Conspiracy.
Now, this burn will be about a minute long.
Minute long burn. Okay. Sexy. Poor mice.
We are about halfway through the burn. In about 30 seconds, we will have
so,
or second stage
background there, you can see the curve of the Earth. So probably it's a spherical, round type object. That doesn't look flat to me. So, oh boy. Want me to rate a Cuno Lemon when I'm done? Sure, can do that.
Shut down.
How do you know her? I'm just gonna drop my Discord deets in here because I don't think Red is on
just
it.
Had
but
Seco 2, just awaiting.
Insertion.
There's that call out.
You know, a Cuno Lemon from me? Okay.
Good orbit. So with confirmation of a successful
So we're gonna probably go back to
start,
Space Jams again.
Good orbit. Eutelsat's Hotbird 13G satellite is still attached to Falcon 9's second stage and is set to deploy in about 5 minutes. So we're going to take
5 minutes,
another short break.
and we'll have some more Space
Jams,
Jams.
and we'll come back to you around the T plus 35 minute mark.
35 minutes. All right, back to Silence of the Lambs. And while they're, yeah, if she's still on Red, I'll totally rate her. She's nice. I like her. God, I wish you could try a slice of my smoked meatloaf. That's not really what she said, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Oh, shit, Sebi. The Darth Invader? Oh, this she would never say that. Try a slice of my smoked meatloaf. No, Sebi, I'll definitely honor that redeem, but give me a couple minutes to get it going. And I'll be back in a few.
Diego Garcia.
With confirmation of successful payload
Oh,
deploy,
crap.
we're going to end our launch broadcast.
Acquisition signal.
We just missed deploy.
We're going
Or
to
I did
end our
anyway.
launch
Hopefully you guys
broadcast for
saw it
tonight.
without the sound.
All of us here at SpaceX want to give a big thank you to our customer Eutelsat for entrusting us with today's mission. We also want to give a big shout out to the Range and Federal
Where on earth
Aviation
is he?
Administration for supporting today's
Well,
mission. As I
was
mentioned earlier,
finding this
today's launch concludes our
mask.
189th overall mission to
Good that you
date
saw it.
and 51st launch of this year. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in and your continued support. Have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.
You have failed me for the last time.
Luke, I am your daddy. So, Darth Vader now joins you for the end of the stream. Oh boy. I don't think the Empire designed this helmet to work very well with headphones. Wrong priorities. Yes. Give it to me straight, Poppy. Oh, Daddy. Okay, so. Oh, in case you didn't notice, my shirt this night is Elon smoking the sweet Chiba. I never knew that I hate Darth Vader saying, "Oh, Daddy." Well, now you can. And I think this is where the Empire will sign off for the night. Thank you all for watching this SpaceX launch, which is very rudimentary compared to what the Empire can do. You don't comprehend the power of the dark side. But seriously, friends, thank you for joining me on this launch. One day the Earthlings will be able to travel to other planets. But thanks you guys again. I'll see you in chat and whenever. You guys are great. Love you all. But we are going to raid Brandon if you're still around. Hello? Huh. My get to the chopper did not work. Hard to understand me? Yes. So my program sounds aren't working, at least right now. Oh, that's because I turned the audio down. That would probably be the reason.
Get to the chopper!
There we go. Alright, so go back to chat and we'll set up a raid here. Here we go. It's a lot harder to operate in this mask than you would think. I don't know how Anakin did it, to be honest. Okay, we're gonna rate a Cuneilemon. Here we go. And here we go. Thanks for joining in, you guys. Take care.